I sang the other night, but it felt really different. And it took me a very short time to realize that I was doing something that I was taught to do a long time ago or told about. And I'm now doing it instinctively. And that is that instead of worrying about what I was going to receive from the audience, from the people watching, how they were going to react, what they were going to think of my singing, um, I just focused on the giving. That I am up there not to get something from them, not to get something from the people out there, but to give the feeling that I get from this song, to give something in terms of how much this art means to me, but not to worry about how the audience is going to react. And the strangest thing is that when you focus on the giving in an art form, you tend to actually get more back. I got so many compliments, and I'm not saying that to say that my singing was amazing or anything like that, but I felt it because I was just focusing on what I could give. And I think a lot of times we forget that, well, at least in my opinion, I believe that art isn't just from us. Like, we are a vessel that carries a message, a symbol, energy to give to other people. And so there's like a component of the divine and, the creatrix or the creatress or something bigger than us out there that is actually part of the conspiracy in creating this art. Even if you're just practicing, or even if you're, you know, embodying another artist, or you're just in the midst of creating something, like it hasn't even come to full fruition. I believe that even in the wanting of it, it's actually coming from something bigger than you, bigger than me. And the universe is just using us as a vessel to get this art out there, to get this expression out there. And so I like to think that if I am being critical of my art, like if I'm like, oh, this doesn't sound very good, or everyone does this better than me, or I should just give up because it's not perfect, I am going to make myself or remind myself that I'm actually then kind of being critical of the universe, because I believe that the universe has a component in this making, in this passion, in this whatever it is that I'm doing, whether I'm dancing or singing or drawing or doing math or um, coming up with poetry or whatever it is. I am not the only one doing it. I like to believe that there is a bigger power that's driving me to even want to do it. And so in that case, I cannot complain about my singing, or I can want to improve, but instead of me saying like, oh, the audience didn't react that the way I wanted, or this sounds so bad, or, even in dancing, like if I think I made some mistakes or whatever, I feel like I'm then being critical of the artist's, what can I call it? Like the energy of the artist. And the energy of the artist has less to do with us and more to do with us being able to hear, feel, sense, what the universe is wanting us to give. It's all about giving, it's not about receiving. And so when I went up there, I honestly wasn't doing a whole lot differently. But the little thing, which is not so little, that made such a big difference is that I was no longer caring about how the audience was going to receive something. I was just thinking, I am giving. I'm giving of this like desire, passion, drive that I have to like love this song. It was Saving All My Love for You by Whitney Houston. I love the way that it sits in my voice, like the range. So I wanted to give like of that resonance. Like I just wanted to give that to like, see where it would go, and again, not worry so much about what the audience would think. And I felt it because I felt it. The audience felt it. I got some really amazing compliments from people that have heard me sing before, but have never complimented me like that. And again, it's not about what I received from them, but even if they didn't give me the compliments, I still felt really good when I was up there because I felt that exchange of going outward instead of trying to get something back. I remember when I used to go to karaoke and I used to be so obsessed with like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this. I would be so nervous. I would be fixated totally on myself. And I guess I could say like rightfully so because I hadn't done it very long and I didn't know what it would sound like, but I was so concerned about what other people would think of me. And one day, my friend, but also someone who was a vocal coach of mine at the time, very clearly but politely said to me that, we can all often get so fixated on ourselves that we forget about the other people. And I didn't quite understand what she meant. I don't know if I took offense by it at that time or I just didn't clue in completely with what she was saying. But then, months down the line, when I was doing karaoke more, another friend of mine came out to sing, and she hadn't sung in front of people before much. And when she was so nervous about doing this, I could relate totally. But then it got to the point where the whole night was about her. And I had so much compassion for her. But I also now understood what my vocal coach friend meant because I could see it in this friend of mine who was making the whole night about herself. Like there were other people there, there were all of us there. And yes, we wanted to be encouraging. And of course, we wanted to be there for her. And we understood, because we have gone through it ourselves, her nervousness. But it got to the point where the whole night became about her and just making her feel good. And I was like, oh my God, I hope I wasn't like that. And then I was like, oh my God, I totally was like that. And it made me realize like I don't want to be like that. And it's that line between remembering to give versus receiving. It makes such a huge difference. It also takes pressure off of yourself to be this perfect artist of anything, because when I think again that it's like I am just a vessel for something that's being created, or it could even just be in the midst of the creating. It's not, like I said in the beginning, it's not necessarily perfected, it's not completed. Whatever it is, but I don't want to insult the universe or the artistic world out there by saying like, "Oh, this sucks." I've caught myself doing that with my writing a lot, with dancing, and just saying, "Oh, this sucks," but then I'm insulting the process. I'm insulting the I don't know what to call it, like the god or gods or goddesses of art, like that are like, "No, we're just using you as a vessel to get this out, and you're not helping." And now you're insulting us when we are here to like create something, and you're wanting to destroy it before it even gets out there. And to me, it that takes pressure off of me to make it so amazing. It also makes it easier for me not to insult myself because India Ree is one she was one of my favorite artists, and also her guitarist Miller, because of their really creative song lyrics. But she has this song called I forget the name of it, but in it she's talking about how music is such an inspiration to her that she hears it and feels it everywhere she is. And she even says in that song that she knows she's just the vessel to say what music wants to say. So she's not even really the creator, like she's just the vessel. It comes through her. It's not of her. It's not from her necessarily. And I'm like, that's beautiful. And if we focus on that kind of thinking, whatever we do, I feel like we would actually get to a way better level, a way more like a level that's more in sync with who we really are, and how much we can actually produce, and like deeply and profoundly, and with like full intention and also full feeling for ourselves and the audience, if we take off that idea that it's all us, because it's not all us. It's a little self-centered, I say. This is my theory. It's self-centered to think that it's just you, because the things that artists do when it's like way beyond our imagining, like it, sometimes we're just like floored at how people create things on the dance floor or in writing or on paintings or whatever it is. It can't just be us. It doesn't matter what you believe in, like even if you don't believe in God or the universe or whatever, it's like there has to be something else in there. It's not just coming from us. And I believe that when we acknowledge that, or even open ourselves to the possibility that it's not just us, it feels less daunting. It feels like, oh, something else out there that's helping us make this, that's helping this come into being, into fruition, that is creating something on the canvas. And it's not just us. We can actually invite that thing, that essence, whatever it is, to bring this out of us so that we can give rather than focusing on the receiving. I just thought I would share this with you. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you're an artist and if you resonate with this, if you think it doesn't make sense, like what is your approach to how you really connect with audiences, or to share your passion, or um, when it really sinks in deeply for you or for the people that are watching or learning from you. Let me know what you think. I will see you all soon.